Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name's Simon. This is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you've all had a good day. I've enjoyed a touch of spring / summer today here in beautiful Wales. I got in a Chi, sorry. It's had nice blue skies and that enabled me to have a ride on my bike, so all good. Anyway, you probably don't care about that, and quite right too. So let's get into the price action analysis. And before I do, just want to remind you, this is not financial advice. Okay, I'm just going to make the MACD a little bit smaller so I can get more of the price action on the screen. Now, has anything interesting happened since yesterday? Well, there was more downside, not a huge amount to be fair. And if we switch on to the daily, you'll be able to see today's candle with a mere 5 hours left to the closure, which with my maths mean that my maths would suggest that about call it 65% of the day is over. But as you can see, it's not exactly a volatile looking candle. On that front, on the daily front, the MACD remains below the zero line and will do, according to this amazing indicator from TradingView, below 69,000. It's a fair way away at the moment. So, but bear in mind, the further away the MACD is from the midline, the less accurate this number is. So, you know, momentum definitely to the downside on the daily time frame. I can say the same for the 4 week. 4 week? No. 4 hour. As you can see, the MACD long way from the zero line, and so we're not going to pay too much attention to this number at the moment. But clearly need to see some significant upside before momentum swings back in a bullish bias rather than a bearish one, which it certainly is at the moment. Okay, now to put a bit more meat on these bones, and I think the last sort of 2-3 candles, including the current one on the 4 hour, do look kind of interesting, and I'm just going to declare this. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I haven't actually looked at the 15-minute chart until I'm about to with you guys. All right, so this will be a kind of recorded live 15-minute price action analysis by Simon. So here we go. So on the 15-minute, you can see there's basically a mini range, and it's effectively sideways. So there was impulsive move, consolidation, impulsive move, then a bit of a mixed picture, and then effectively continuation of this kind of range. But what the 15-minute hasn't done, in fact what none of the time frames have done, is take out the current low. So on the 15-minute time frame, which puts a bit more meat on the bones, let me just move this thing out of the way. Do I want that one? Yes. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. So you can see basically, like, this was a few moves up, and it doesn't matter too much. There was a break. So there was a trend line like this, which was this uptrend with higher lows and higher highs, but it was clearly a corrective move rather than an impulsive one. And then that was broken to the downside. But when it was broken to the downside, this isn't an impulsive move, right? So this is a corrective move to the downside following a corrective move to the upside, following, stick with me guys, 2 impulsive moves down, all right? So bearing in mind that the momentum on the 4 hour and the daily that I just referred to is still very much to the downside, and that the bottom of the range isn't far away from here, it's 59,000. So current price Bitcoin's, $3,000 to $4,000 above there. Do I think there is more downside likely? as the first move from this point? And the answer to that question is, I'm not going to say that exactly, but what I'm going to say is paint a bit of a different picture. So based on what I see right now in the 15-minute, oh no, I can't draw a straight line. Let's just get I'll do it with a trend line. So you can see there is a kind of mini range with a top that comes up around 64,000, itchy chin, sorry about that, and then a bottom that comes in round about, let's try and get that straight, let's just call it 61.5, all right, so 64 to the upside, 61.5-ish to the bottom. Clearly, they're not absolute figures, and so please don't think of them as such. Now, the reason I've done that is, you know I love a range. I love a range on all time frames. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that referencing the question I just asked myself a minute ago about what's the most likely move next, no one knows. No one knows where the price is going to go. But you can make logical assumptions based on what it then does. Okay, so if, for example, Bitcoin from here, come on, where's my pen? Did a little bounce-a-roo back above that mini range, probably whacks its head on the midline as resistance. That's the midline of my range. Then comes back down, maybe gets some support around here, and then moves back into the top half of the overall range. And clearly that makes this a higher low. Now, only on the lower time frames, and it would then need to develop, but with more upside for it to become relevant to the higher time frames. Because this is minutiae time frame. I mean, it's not like turbo scalp, which is like one minute time frame, but it's still a pretty low time frame. So that, I guess, would be a positive spin as where the next move may come. And if I was to use momentum to give myself a little bit of bias on that, then I would say, well, at the moment, just on the 15-minute time frame, MACD is above the zero line, and it won't cross below unless Bitcoin chucks away another $750 to 62,250. And that's probably somewhere around the middle of this range. So, that's hanging in a balance, I would say. Why did it take me 8 minutes to get here? Good Lord. So the counter argument is, well, fine, but what if this isn't just a consolidation and it's just part of a move down? So I'm just going to get rid of all the upside stuff. Come on, get rid of the upside stuff. Thank you. And do a downside thing. So, and I would say that this becomes the case when the bottom of this range is broken. So, if Bitcoin does this sort of thing, sorry, rubbish lines, breaks below, and then definitely if it starts to build pressure, and this will be a few days, so this, if this was the end, am I at the end of the week? I can't tell with the thing because it's not on the right one. But if Bitcoin stayed down in the lower, say, quarter of the overall range, for a few days, so this would be into the weekend and then into, say, Monday, that would look really bad, and that would be selling pressure up against support, but without a bounce to the upside, and that would not look good, and that would look a lot more like more downside to come than upside. Conversely, if it did a downside move first but did something like this, I better get rid of that. Let me get rid of that first. So yeah, consolidation around the support resistance line generally, and feel free to prove me wrong on this one, but generally consolidation up against resistance tends to result in the break of the resistance. Consolidation around support tends to break support. That won't be the case every time, obviously, but so a different downside slant might be, so maybe a test at the top of the range, down, and then immediate good big impulsive bounce from the bottom of the range. So an impulsive bounce would look more like this and this rather than this and this, blah blah blah, right? So a real bounce off the support that it should find at the bottom of the range again would make things more likely to be continuing within the range, but then the next move to the upside. So what am I on now? Whoa, 11 minutes. It's like I'm in some sort of time warp. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Feels like a bit of an abrupt ending, but in summary, downside still more momentum is still to the downside. This has a suspicion of forming a higher low, but only on the very low time frames. And a bit like yesterday, until you see Bitcoin get back above 66,000, in my opinion, it's just more likely for downside. However, closing 4 hours and dailies above there, upside is back on. Anyway, there you go. That's Tuesday. I hope the rest of your Tuesday goes well. Do me a favor, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't enjoyed it, don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again. Okay, take care. See you later.